I wanted to make a normal DragDragi devlog since I haven't made videos in eternities, but when I was editing this, I learned something really sad. The legend Technoblade passed away and people are honoring his death in many different ways. So as a game developer and a YouTuber, in the future of course, the least I can do to honor his death is to make a game for him. But here's the problem, I can only make bad and low quality games, and I'm really dumb, so it's impossible for me to make a playable game. But maybe there's a solution. Bad games are good. Art of Game Dev by Dragi. Yeah, there's a solution. And with that out of the way, it's new project time. Since I'm creating a new project, I need a name for the game. You see, I might suck at everything I do, but if there's one thing that I'm good at, it's turning something unoriginal original. So let me just go ahead and move Blade back a bit and add some more words. You're welcome. I'm just a genius. Before we start with all the fun stuff, I'm going to make a list of all the things I want to add, which shouldn't be a long list. Bruh. Never mind, before I do anything, I'm just gonna go ahead and play some game, watch some shows. Anyways, I will be back in a second. After analyzing some other games, which is totally needed right now and definitely needed a long time, don't even question it, we don't talk about that here. Anyways, I decided to make a game about cancer. Basically, you play as the one and only Technoblade and clap cancer's cheeks, which in theory should be very fun, but since I'm the one who's making it, it's a different story. And the gameplay is just like DragDragi, since that's the only type of game that I can make. Yeah, I am technically making DragDragi in a month, but believe it or not, it's actually not unachievable because all I have to do is make a worse version of DragDragi. And yes, if you think DragDragi is bad enough, then you have not seen what other games I've made. Obviously, I'm gonna make the game as good as I can for Technoblade, but I just don't have an entire year, so please don't comment how I intentionally make low quality games about Technoblade. That is not very cool. Now, you might say, why don't you copy and paste the code from DragDragi, you stupid piece of shit? Well, that's because I did, and as you can see, it clearly worked perfectly, and even if errors do exist, I can just delete the code itself, because as a wise man once said, if there's errors in your code, then just delete the code. And with that done, that's also 50% of the game done. But just like every game I make, that's only 10% of the total time, which definitely makes a lot of sense. And no, I didn't even include the time polishing the game. Anyways, I guess I'll finish the basic player mechanics first. Before I continue making all that boring stuff and things only nerds will do, I realized I got something illegal. The player right now is not even a bean. It's literally nothing. So that's why we need a player model ASAP. So just as usual, I opened up Blender without realizing that I absolutely suck at modeling and tried to model Technoblade. Are you sure you want to model Technoblade yourself? You know, you should probably just stick to programming. You suck at 3D modeling. And that's where you're right. Hippity hoppity, your model is now my property. With some yoinking done, I need to make the AI, so I have to model and animate AI and program the AI. And that's also when Dragi almost lost all of his hopes, because I can't code an AI that works properly, and I can't model a good 3D model. But luckily for me, there are actual good 3D artists out there, so I can just yoink. And for the programming, for the first time, I can't yoink my code from DragDragi, because DragDragi's AI is currently using a state machine. So I decided to make a basic AI, since it's basic and simple. It shouldn't take very long, right? It has been a while now and I got the player and AI done, so there shouldn't be much left to do. Technoblade, give me strength. Then I made some more enemies myself because I found this video on how to easily model a character, but there's still something missing no matter how many enemies I make. So I did some research on other games and found out exactly what was missing. A really big and fat enemy. So I went into Blender again and made a big enemy and then even more enemies. And one of my favorite enemies that I made is Dragon Guardian. Wait a minute, Dragon? Dragging these nuts, boy! Now that I'm making UIs, did you know that humans existed over 300,000 years ago? And not even in one of those years did anyone make a dev screen this ugly. What the frick am I doing with my life? Anyways, according to my list, I need to make a dialogue system, which was easy because there's a lot of tutorials out there. And now we need to write some dialogues. And that's also when Dragi realized that he also sucks at writing. Of course, that also includes his script and his YouTube videos. And this is a huge issue because because this is not just any game, this is a game about Technoblade. And anyone who watches Technoblade knows that he has a good humor, which is completely the opposite of me. So yeah, the only thing I can do right now is give you a cringe warning before you play this game because dialogue is really bad. And when I say it's bad, it's bad. When I said that I'm basically making Dragony in a month, I kinda lied, because this game is gonna be even more than Dragony, because I'm gonna add abilities, because what the fuck is a game without abilities? So first, I need to make an ability system, but I don't know how to do it, or more like it's something that I can't even imagine, because my brain is smaller than my dick. But luckily, I found this video by Code Monkey, which definitely helped out my small brain, and now it's time to implement the system into my game. So first, I need to create an ability system that can store all the different abilities. Then I made a base script that holds all the properties of an ability and created a different script. Boring! Shut up, nerd! So first, I added an ability called Blood for the Blood God. It's basically lifesteal, and I also made a simple UI for it. And because Technoblade is the best potato farmer, I added a potato upgrade, which makes the player the Potato King. And for the final ability, I kinda just called it Technoblade, because Technoblade never dies. Now it's time to add environment. For that, I just yoinked some assets from the asset store, because everything that looks good in my game is not made by me. Draggy. That explains why some of my scene actually looks decent, because I didn't make it. And my favorite part, post-processing. And with that, I can chill out and enjoy the environment. I've done it. Finally, I can clap some cancer. My blood is my sword, and trees are purple. Feel the Technoblade. And I'm a warrior. Blood is my life source. The combat is godly. Wait, the combat is godly.
That's one too many syllables there, bub.
I use 6 syllables in a haiku. I have deceived my will and I shall pay. After some testing, I realized that the game was too easy, so I need to make this game harder. You might say that I don't like hard games because I hate Dark Souls, but here's the thing. I don't hate Dark Souls because it's difficult. I hate it because of the parrying. So that's why I really like Sekiro. So I messed with all the values like HP damage and attack cooldown, but no matter how much I tweak the values, the boss fight and enemies overall just gets more boring. So there was no other choice than to make that one thing I never thought about. Because I'm a parry addict, so I never thought about adding it. But I guess I have no other choice now. Yep, I'm talking about unblockable attacks. So I did some more coding, and now all I need to do is make an unblockable sign. And what's more original than this? It's definitely not stolen from another game or anything. Why would I even do that? So yeah, it's totally original idea, and all I need now is some original sound effect. Perfect. Now there's only one thing missing. Boss battle. And this was really easy since I can just get my hand on some models and animations and the boss is basically the same as a normal enemy. But what's different is that it has more attack moves and more unblockables, and also they have stages. But what's different from other games is that you actually don't really know what stage the boss is currently in. All I did was buff the damage amount, so when fighting the boss, it will just do more and more damage without you even realizing it. Sounds fun, right? And if I remember correctly, the only thing missing now is adding sound effect, more environment, more boss fight, and more UI. But what matters right now is only sound effect, and it's actually easy to do. I don't need to make my own sound effect by buying different items from the real life item shops and try making my own sound effect, because all I need to do is a little bit of googling and I'll have all the sound effects that I will ever need for this game. Then I did some polishing, which took way too long, and all I need now is testing the game. But why would I playtest myself if I can get my imaginary friends and force them, ask them to play my game and give feedbacks while I chill out and watch some anime? It's a win-win situation to me. Anyways, that's everything for me. If you want to play the game and beat up some cancer, it's in the description below. And rest in peace, Technoblade, and also, fuck cancer. Goodbye.